Right, we are here at the Vincent Delany Memorial, and it's good to catch up with some very familiar faces as well, with Katie Parry-Evans joining me. Hello.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
How did I go with the name? It's the third, fourth time. Who knows?
Third, fourth take, still slightly incorrect. It's Parry. It rhymes with Harry.
Yeah, I'll try and
Welsh name.
I'll try and remember that. What a great day it is here, and isn't it good to see so many people dressed up?
Yeah, very good. There's a lot of good crowd here. I haven't been here for a few years for multiple reasons, and obviously very good to catch up with my Aussie pal. It's been a few years. When was it?
You better remember, because if you forget, that's your honeymoon.
Last time I saw you was December 2022.
Yeah, on your honeymoon. And that's one of the cool things about harness racing and horses in general. You can strike up an amazing friendship. Out of a random dinner in a very obscure place.
Yeah, I think I am actually still wearing the headband the same day that I met you for the very first time.
I'm glad you're taking this seriously.
Actually, it wasn't. I wore it to New Zealand Cup, so yeah, it was the last time we had an interview together, I think, yeah.
And that's where I did meet you, and that was with Mike over there for the New Zealand Cup Carnival, and you're a bit spoiled in a way. You get to see some great carnivals. This is a cracking carnival, what the Delaney boys have been able to do here. Yeah,
I mean, we actually trained a horse for Derek and his brother last year, and they're great for harness racing. Obviously, the race meeting they put on is aspiring to be something that we see all over the world. Nothing in this country is like what they put on. Tregaron is very similar on the grass, but obviously the way they put it on and they put the hospitality on, it's obviously very important for race goers, like say me and my friends that come and just enjoy having a nice time. We've got no horses, so it's just nice to come watch horses and actually let our hair down a little bit and see horsey people, like-minded people. But obviously if you get a bit of the hospitality, it's nice, because it doesn't really happen very often.
No, and it's good to enjoy it, and as I say, when some people dress up and everyone follows, it's really cool. It's a good way to you actually achieved something terrific for yourself just recently. That's pretty corny the way I said that. We might have to. I might have to try and. I won't edit it out. I'll just leave it in there. But you 2 weeks ago was it? You won the. You're going to have to tell me what it was. Was it the biggest Welsh show? Is that what we're going to go with?
I ride a horse for one of my closest friends, Cobb.
Who's over there on the camera?
Yeah, she could come in if she wants. At some point, she's waving.
The camera don't go backwards.
So I produce a Cobb stallion for one of my closest friends. I broke him, trained him myself. He's now in his third season. We've been to Royal Welsh 3 times. So Royal Welsh for the Aussie people. A lot of the Aussie Welsh showers. You know, there's a lot of Welsh Australians that show Welsh ponies, but the Royal Welsh is the biggest agricultural show in Europe, and he basically won the Welsh Cobb Stallion under saddle and then went overall ridden Welsh Cobb champion. So that was quite a big honour, and he's also qualified for Horse of the Year show, which is also another pinnacle in our show season in the UK. Well,
I do a lot with the horses, all codes over there, and I've got a lot of friends, and you know quite a few of them. You actually know one of my neighbours. But the Welsh in Australia, the Welsh breed, it's a very important breed, especially in the show society and things like that. But to win the Welsh class in Wales, that must be just something really, really special and a great achievement.
Yeah, I mean, I did it in 2017 with an in-hand Section A mare. And never really in any of my dreams did I think I'd be able to win with a ridden horse, let alone go champion. So my friend Sonia, who owns and bred him, she sort of always said, yeah, it's great, we've qualified highs. Like, we went last year for Horse of the Year show, it's great we got our ticket this year, but all I ever wanted to do is to win the Royal Welsh under saddle, and we went a little bit further and went champion. So yeah, it's very exciting.
And the elation was on your face, like anyone that follows you on Instagram mainly, but Facebook as well. You could see it was just absolute joy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, some ugly crying perhaps. Yeah, no, it was a dream come true, and now we're not actually going to show him till Horse of the Year show. We're just kind of got some dressage training with him. We've got a couple of like Horse of the Year show clinics, which is where you take them to sort of desensitise them. But in all honesty, he just loves a crowd. He's the type that if we go somewhere where it's very quiet, he's a bit like, it's a bit boring, it's a bit. But if we take him somewhere where there's a crowd, he's like, look at me go.
Wee bit like yourself.
No.
How big is it here? Like, you've judged in Australia, so you know where the show sits, and I think possibly it's a bit of a worry at the minute in Australia the way it is going. I think it's probably going a little bit quieter. How is showing over here?
In what sense?
In Wales? Is it getting bigger and better?
I think, like here and Australia, there's obviously a cost of living crisis. It's very random, but it's very, very random. I still listen to an Australian radio show, Nova.
Yep.
I listen to the breakfast show every morning because I followed them since I lived there, and I listen to it every day, and they constantly talk about like the cost of living crisis and how hard it is there. And it's obviously the same thing here. Like, we own a restaurant as well. We've seen a massive decline in numbers and tourists coming because it's actually cheaper to go into Europe to go on like a sunny holiday, and rather than coming and having, just 3 nights in a cottage and spending their money within Britain, which actually Britain probably needs. But the show circuit, in all honesty, it kind of depends on the judge. So if there's a lot of predictability in judging, and then also a lot of hearsay and rumours, so people might be like, oh, blah blah's winning at this show, so then the entries kind of decline a bit. But there's also shows where you've got someone you think is probably going to be extremely fair, and you see the numbers pick up. But I think Australia, every time I've been there about 4 or 5 times and shown their judge there, and I mean, the Australians are so enthusiastic for Welsh breeds, and I've actually seen some Australians this morning at the National Welsh Champs. Wow. Some Victorians. Janet Murphy, shout out if you're listening. But yeah, no, I love, Australia's got my heart.
You do love. You're not allowed to take another step back because you'll be out of the camera. No, this way. You've got to come back across this way. Yeah, so it might be my BO. I'm not sure at all. 2 things you were going to say to me. You haven't told me your horse's name. You said you'll say it because you said I'll butcher it.
His name is Trevelyan Killoch.
I had no hope, did I?
So Trevelyan is the stud name. The prefix is owned by Sonia and her father and her son. They're actually not far from Wolverhampton Racecourse, maybe like 30 minutes-ish, 25-30 minutes. And Sonia bred him herself, and he's by a stallion called Killoch, Gwynfais Killoch. And Killoch is basically very random. There's this thing called the Welsh Mabinogion, and it's like a fairy tale stories in Welsh, like really old school fairy tales, and Killoch is a character out of there. But if you translate it into English, it means narrow sow, so it's not attractive.
Go with Killoch.
When you translate it to English, it's not very nice, but the meaning in the traditional fairy tale, it's a nice Welsh name.
Very good. We won't translate it at all. Quickly, you also have just started up your own app. You've got your own gym, online gym, if you like, online personal training for horsey people, and it's designed around posture and correct sitting and how to put the muscles in the right spot. Yeah,
so I train a lot myself, just strength and conditioning, and started an online, essentially personal training for like strength and conditioning, just kind of to help people be a bit more accountable about themselves, and also give them like an online plan of home workouts, or if you've got access to a gym, I can program it so that you can use gym equipment. Obviously when you're a horse rider, you've got to use your core, you've got to use your lower body, your arms, balance, flexibility, everything comes into it. So the program will depend on your ability and how able you are to do stuff. So I've got clients that range from somebody that's a lot more unfit and somebody that actually is riding at national level. So yeah, it's going good, and I'm starting face to face from September.
Wow, a big difference. You're actually going to do something with me. You even said that. You said you're going to do something. That'll test you out. Could be worse. Could be that Kiwi bloke trying to get him tested out as well.
Yeah, Cameron.
We'll just leave him alone. We'll leave him there. Katie, good to catch up. Yeah. It's always great to catch up. It's good to have familiar faces. I reckon it's great. I come halfway around the world, and it's probably worse than halfway around the world. I don't know how far I've come from Australia, but anyway, to catch up with some familiar faces. So, well done. Great achievement too the other day. Good luck. When is your last show? How long away?
So Horse of the Year shows 2nd week in October, and then I think he's going to make some more babies next year, which is sad. But
so no more showing?
No, we're hoping maybe the year after he might come back, but yeah. And also, just to touch on, it's great to have you in the UK.
Yeah, but you're biased.
I'm very annoyed you haven't come to Wales.
Well, I might next time.
But yeah, no, next time we catch up, it'll be in Australia.
Right, there's a promise. There'll be a few people who will know that too, don't worry about that. Katie, thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul.